Greetings to you viewers from across the globe. You're welcome to the show Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I'm your host, Odiawa AI. I do believe you're having a marvelous Monday. You do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Veegil Media, and follow us across various social media platforms. Don't forget to download the app, the Veegil app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Moving on the show today, we'll be talking about the renewal or budget of renewal as it was christened by the Lagos State government. But first off, the headlines making the rounds in the political scene. Now, on Rivers State particularly, which we'll be zeroing in on, two more commissioners resigned from Fubara's cabinet. If we'll recall earlier on, some commissioners had earlier on resigned, and they seem to be increasing in number, thereby, making the State Executive Council dysfunctional. Now, two more commissioners have resigned from the cabinet of Governor Similari Fubara of the Rivers State government. Now, this has brought the number of commissioners who have resigned from the governor's cabinet to 9. The latest to resign are the Commissioner of Special Projects, Emeka Woke, and the Commissioner for Environment, Austin Benchioma. Now, while Emeka Woke served as the Chief of Staff for the former Governor, Nyesom Wike, who happens to be the current FCT Minister, Benchioma served as Commissioner for Urban Development in the immediate past administration, which is Wike's administration. Now, Emeka Woke was also a former local government chairman of the Moha local government area. Now, his letter of resignation was dated November 14, 2023, as the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Zaccheaus Adango, who earlier on had resigned also. Now, his resignation was first to be reported. Now, those who resigned earlier include the State's Attorney General, which I've just mentioned, Justice Professor Zaccheaus Adango, Commissioner for Works, George Kelly Alabo, Social Welfare and Rehabilitation Commissioner, Inime Aguma, and Commissioner of Finance, Isaac Kamalu. Others are Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Jacobson B. Mbina, State Commissioner for Education, Professor Prince Chinedu, as well as the State Commissioner for Housing, Gift Wolu. One commissioner, Henry Ogiri, who was in charge of the Ministry of Power, had, before the new wave of resignation, left in November to take up a federal appointment as a commissioner in the National Populations Commission. Now, the Rivers State Cabinet is now left currently as we speak with about 8 commissioners, assuming more cabinet members have not yet actually resigned. Now, moving on to other matters, still on Rivers State, the Labour Party has dropped its petition against Fubara. Now, the Labour Party has dropped its petition against Rivers State Governor Fubara, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 gubernatorial election. Its gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party, Beatrice Itubo, also pledged to support Fubara's government for the progress of Rivers State. Now, we will see that as we speak now, Rivers State is torn or left in crisis now. Might we recall that the Rivers State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja had earlier rejected the petition brought forward by Beatrice Itubo, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Rivers. Now, the petition challenged the victory of Fubara in the March 18 governorship elections. Fubara actually won the state governorship elections in 2023, this year, with a total of 302,614 votes, defeating Tonye Cole of the APC, the All Progressives Congress, who actually garnered 95,274 votes. The tribunal's decision comes after a petition was filed by the Labour Party and the APC candidates contesting Fubara's victory. Now, following up with the adoption of final written addresses and arguments from all parties, the tribunal, led by Justice Cletus Emifonye, ruled on Monday dismissing the Labour Party's petition on grounds of lacking merit and failure to substantiate the allegations, rather. Now, on a much lighter note, with the saga plaguing Rivers State, the Garden City. Now, on a much lighter note, like I began to say, Day Your Day, Fubara floats a live band amidst Rivers State crisis. Now, if we recall, Rivers State seems to be releasing or churning out tracks at its administration. Because if we recall, The Nyesom Wike administration also released its own theme song, which was picked up by the popular musician Timaya. Now, Governor Similarly Fubara of Rivers State has floated a live band in the wake of the political crisis in the state. Fubara's live band came alive shortly after his speech during the flag-off of the construction of the 20,000 housing units in Ikwere area of the state, Rivers State, I mean. Now, the live band was heard singing, "Day Your Day, Make I Day My Day. Nobody worry nobody," to the excitement of the crowd. Fubara's new live band is coming on the heels of the political tension, which is actually ravaging the state as we speak. Now, might we recall that Fubara's predecessor, like I began by saying earlier on, the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike's live band as governor of Rivers was led by gospel artist Bamidele Abiye Adik, also known as Sensational Bamidele. He actually sang Igbo-themed music tracks. Now, the band is known for singing soothing songs for Wike, which it's infamous as they pain them in the sweet us. If we recall that kind of song, if I may play along with the tune, as they sweet us, they pain them. Now, not to digress or deviate, Bamidele said his songs are actually usually motivated by happenings around an event and the mood of the governor. Now, I think we should have that speech by Similarly Fubara, governor of Rivers State, and also the live band song.
For the interest of our dear state. Thank you, and may God bless every one of you.
Nobody worry, nobody worry, nobody oh, day, oh, day. Ah, day by day. Day by day. Nobody worry, nobody.
Join us in the next phase of the show. You're welcome back to the show. I'm Odiawa AI for Veegil Media, and the show is Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. You do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Veegil Media, and follow us across various social media platforms. Don't forget to download the app, the Veegil app, on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Now, we will be talking about the budget of Renewal, as it was christened by the Lagos State government, the Center of Excellence. Now, the common accounting tool governments and several other institutions across the globe use for planning and controlling what they must do to satisfy its citizens or the people to succeed in governance and other areas of human endeavors is budgeting. Now, in economics, it's also known as a scale of preference. So you get your financial acts right. Now, budgets actually provide a measure of financial results a government expects from its planned activities. Now, by planning for the future, government officials or chief executives and other leadership positions learn to project potential problems and how to boycott them. Now, instead of subsequently facing pragmatic issues, they can channel their energies on exploiting opportunities or taking advantage of opportunities rather. Now, in the last 4.5 years, the Center of Excellence and Commercial Hub of the nation, Nigeria, Lagos State, has changed the narrative not only in budgeting but in its implementation in the nation. The state has not only effectively monitored the budgeting execution, it has consistently delivered a budget performance of over 70%. It has been the policy of the government to embark on periodic budget reviews. Now, repeated monitoring, critical examination, and diligent employment of the the budgeting process have impacted positively on the budget performance of Lagos State. The idea of periodic budget assessment speaks volumes of the proactiveness of the government, as it affords it a scientific analysis for measuring its performance consistently while putting pressure on government, departments, and agencies to meet budgetary targets. Now, while presenting the 2024 budget estimate, which was actually christened, like I began by saying, which is the subject matter or title of this show, the budget of renewal, to the Lagos State House of Assembly, Governor Bababjide Sanwo-Olu revealed as at the third quarter of 2023 that the period ending 30th of September 2023, his government had implemented 1.032 trillion naira in the 2023 budget, representing 78% of the prorated estimate of 1.326 trillion. According to the governor, actual capital expenditure stood at 613.52 billion, 80% of the prorated estimate of 764.93 billion, while actually recurrent expenditure was at 419.06 billion, representing 75% of the prorated estimate of 561.073 billion naira. Now, he has, in any case, convinced the 2023 budget will have a budget performance that is close to 90% by the end of the year. Of course, we're wrapping up the year, evidently. This amply reflects the commendable form of progress that is being made in terms of budget monitoring and implementation at the Center of Excellence, Lagos State, I mean here now. Now, most importantly, it is inspiring that the Lagos most importantly, I beg your pardon, it's inspiring that the result of a recent impact assessment done by the government shows that critical sectors such as health, education, the environment, and security are experiencing marked improvements. Now, in terms of literacy level, for instance, the level in the state is above the national average in terms of life expectancy. The life expectancy in Lagos State is above the national average, with a much more advanced environment like Johannesburg in South Africa. The implication of this is enhanced security, improved healthcare, and invariably better quality of life. Now, the number of patients to doctors is improving as reflected in life expectancy. Equally, the number of stillbirths also and deaths is gradually depleting. It is therefore quite cheering, as I will say, that the status or the status of 2024 budget proposal is coming at a time when the focus of the government is on sustaining and surpassing the gains of the past 4.5 years through the completion of several ongoing projects. Now, what projects are we talking about? We're talking about the phase 11 of the Lagos Blue Light Rail, the Mercy Street Children's Hospital, just to mention a few, the General Hospital, or even also the Ojo-Okpebi Link Bridge, among others, just to mention a few. The list is endless. Now, the 2024 budget, as proposed, has a total budget size of 2.246234 trillion naira, comprising the total revenue of 1.847 trillion naira and a deficit financing of 398.283 billion naira. You know, I mean, that's quite a huge sum. We keep hearing trillions and billions. Now, not to digress, the total revenue comprises internally generated revenue and total federal transfers as follows. Total IGR, which is 1.251 trillion, and total federal transfer of 596.629 billion naira. Now, it also consists of a recurrent expenditure of 1.021 trillion, comprising total overhead, total personal cost, and recurrent debt service. This comprises total overhead costs, and these costs are of 527.782 billion, which is made up of overhead cost of 304.753 billion also. Subventions actually amounts to 123.010 billion. Dedicated funds to 100.02 billion, and total personal costs running into 319.230 billion naira. Others include recurrent debt service, 174.94 billion, while a total figure of 1.224 trillion is proposed for capital expenditure, comprising some particular billions for repayments. Now, highlights of sectoral allocations of the proposed budget shows that certain figures were projected for economic affairs, for the environment, the health sector also, education, social protection, for also not leaving out the public order and safety. Now, analyzing now, giving a breakdown concerning the figures which I have just mentioned concerning the budgetary allocation. Coming down now in our climate, the human challenges that confronted the full implementation of the budget are both, or will confront the challenges rather, are both behavioral and attitudinal, as Lagosians, by Lagosians now I mean inhabitants of Lagos, they still have to comply with the laws of the state. To effect this, the effect of this rather is an increase in the cost of running the government in many ways due to compulsory compliance, which the people will not accede to, leaving governments to incur unnecessary costs on law enforcement than it probably would have. For instance, people driving against traffic, people not managing their trash properly by refusing to use the waste management company, for instance, Loma or PSP, and patronizing cart pushers who are not registered to operate. In local parlance, we call them kule kule. People selling along the roadside also, and so many other unwholesome acts are all parts of the human factors which will actually be working against the project. Now, from all indications, with the availability of the required financial resources, the government will actually accomplish its objectives of sustaining a rising Lagos. Over the years, it has showcased enough capacity to execute its projects. Now, on the contrary, in any case, the success of the states have created some socio-economic challenges as reflected in the number of people trooping into the state to benefit from what it has to offer. It is quite similar to the case of Nigerians traveling abroad in the quest for the proverbial greener pastures, or do I say Japa? Well, in order to ensure total success of the state's coming year's budget 2024, Lagosians need to be fully involved in the process of implementation. For instance, they need to speak up whenever they notice any anomaly in the implementation of the project in their localities. The projects in their localities are theirs and principally meant for them to say, or rather should monitor them to ensure that the money being spent is actually well spent. Now, before I draw the curtain on today's episode, existing structures also for the program monitoring should be supported with proper evaluation systems, especially where existing ones are weak. It is important also likewise that evaluation provides evidence-based information that is reliable and useful, enabling the timely incorporation of findings, recommendations, and lessons learned into decision making. I'm Odiawa AI for Veegil Media, and the show has been Viewpoints. We were talking about the budget renewal by Lagos State. You do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Veegil Media, and follow us across various social media platforms. Don't forget to download the Veegil app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you when you see me.